Freedom of speech. Fast speed. What is freedom of speech? Freedom of speech means that people can express their ideas and opinions verbally without fear of interference, limitation, or censorship. Weighty documents such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights have enshrined this freedom as a basic human right. So, what is the difference between freedom of speech and freedom of expression? Freedom of expression is a broader term than freedom of speech, including, as it does, forms of expression other than speech, books, banners, and even forms of artistic expression, for example. In addition, it protects the right to search for, receive, and communicate information and ideas, as well as covering the means by which information and ideas are expressed. As such, it includes modern modes of communication like the Internet. Are these freedoms absolute? In theory, yes, but in practice, realistic limitations are placed on them. The law of the land must be taken into account. For instance, giving speeches and carrying banners which incite hatred are not permitted by law in many countries in an effort to maintain law and order. The prohibition of activities like these is an example of freedom of expression being curtailed. Champions of freedom of expression. Through the centuries, there have been many defenders of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, from ancient Greeks to the modern day. Perhaps one of the first, in the West at least, was the poet John Milton. In the mid-17th century, he wrote Areopagitica, in which he put forward several arguments in favor of free speech. Centuries later, Noam Chomsky pointed out that believing in free speech means believing in free speech for all, even those whose ideas are diametrically opposed to your own. In light of this, perhaps the most interesting champion of free speech was Evelyn B. Hall, a British writer who is alleged to have said, "I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend you to death your right to say it."